Hi everyone, welcome to Inktober 2025. We are at day 14. I am participating in the Zentangle challenge with some prompts, and every day we're drawing a tangle in ink, and that could be any ink pen that you prefer. I have here my bijou tile, and this particular Zentangle, I believe it's either pronounced Scoggi, like in Italian we would say Scoggi, or Scoggy. I'm not sure. But it's October 2025, day 14, and I will be drawing the tangle on here. I have here my tools, which are my Artist Loft pens, and I have a few graphite pencils in 2B or 4B, as well as a blending stump to blend out that graphite. This is what the Zentangle looks like. And I added here as an embellishment, I decided to add toodles as a leaf to it, but I used my brown Micron PN pen and drew that out. To me, it looks like a seed pod. So that's what it reminds me of. And let's go ahead and break this down on the calendar. It sort of starts out like mythograph with a line and then adding the auras. So I think it's a very simple and fun tangle to draw. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to bring this a little bit closer to the calendar. All right, so the first thing we're going to start with is, like with mythograph, we're just going to draw a somewhat slightly curved line down. And then here from the tip, we're just going to go ahead and give that an aura and come down here. I am going to go ahead and connect those two lines there. Now the next thing we're going to do is add this first circle or orb or seed. So I'm just going to start here and start to draw that circle as if it went behind that stem and come there. So very simple like that. And then what the artist did is here at these 4 points, we're just going to go ahead and fill that in or ink it in. Rotate your paper if it's more comfortable for you. That's more comfortable for me, so I am going to go ahead and do that. So it's as if you're extending that circle, and it's, to me, it's giving that shadow as if it's in the seed pod. So once we add the other lines, that's what it's going to look like to me. So we have that. So that's this area here. Now we're going to go ahead from the tip and come down and encircle that. So for me, it's more comfortable to start like this. And just going to come down, give it that aura. And then just come on down. And what we did on this side, we're going to go ahead and continue on this side. So just following that same step, giving it that outline or that aura. And this is what it should look like. Now we're going to go ahead and add the second circle. So just going to come here. Like that, and then do the same thing, just ink that in just to connect it. Okay, and then we're going to give it that aura. And just come down, give it the aura on the other side. And then we're going to go ahead and give it that third one. This one might be just a little bit smaller. And just go ahead and connect that. And then the same thing, we're just going to go ahead and give it that aura. And that is what it looks like. So this is Schoggi. And let's see, as far as for giving it a little bit of color, maybe I will pick, this is already green, so let me see. This is one of my pastel pencils in orange. Needs to be sharpened. And I think I'm just going to come in here and give it just a little bit of color. And then with one of my other blending stumps, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. Like that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead to the Zentangle tile. And you can add more than one, of course. I'm going to use my Micron PN pen, only because this is a little bit heavier of a cardstock. And this nib is thicker. It's a plastic nib. So again, we're just going to go ahead and maybe I'll do it here on a diagonal. Oops, out of focus there. Just going to come down. And I'll connect that later, but what I'm going to do now is do that half circle on each side. This actually looks like it's my blue PN pen. All right, so we've got that. I came back and went over it with my black plastic nib pen. So now what we're going to do is just connect these areas. So I'm giving it a little bit of a swoop. And just coming up that stem. And then here the same thing. Just coming from the base of that orb and filling in that little area. Just inking that in. Now we're going to give it that aura. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from up here. And giving it that aura on one side, and then we go ahead and we do that on the opposite side. This one is also a very meditative, I think, and calming Zentangle. And now here we're going to add that second orb. It's almost like an apple seed. And then the same thing, we're going to go ahead and fill in those little crevices with ink in those 4 areas. and then give it that aura. Okay, coming on down. I think that's really pretty. You can continue on. You can leave it at this. You can do one. So the regular Zentangle design has the 3. So let's go ahead and add that third one. Fill in that little curved area. And give it that aura. And I think I'm going to come down here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and close that off. Look how pretty that looks, though. Again, like a seed pod or maybe a vegetable that has seeds in it cut in half. Really pretty. So again, on these Zentangle cards, these tiles, I don't add any color. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside. And we are going to now add it to this compilation page. So just have to figure out where I would like to add it. Here's where mythograph is, and maybe I will have it come out here. Yeah, I think I'll have it come out here, maybe going this way. So so this one is coming out this way, I'm going to have it come this way. So again, just giving it a little bit of that curved line. So that initial stem first. Then we're adding that larger orb or seed or circle. We're filling in these areas, inking that in. I think inking in is kind of like my favorite part of all the tangles. Like even when I do the orbs and then filling in those spots, I enjoyed doing that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and give it that aura. Whatever you do on one side, you're going to go ahead and do on the other. Going to add that other circle here. It's a little bit smaller. Give it that inked area. Just like that. Giving it that aura. And then that third and so you're really repeating the pattern of the stems, the orbs, the inking in, and then the aura. Kind of reminds me of a penguin. Okay, so that is there. Now this might be one tangle that perhaps if I have space, once I come to the end of the month, I may add this one and some other ones in different areas. However, now I'm going to go ahead and grab the graphite. And so this is my 4B. I think I'm going to add some graphite here to give it a little bit of that shading. Here at the bottom. Probably here in this one, because I would like this orb to stand out. I'm going to give some shading here. And some shading here. So let's see what that looks like. So I'm pushing that graphite into the paper and then pulling up. Maybe I'm going to give a little bit of shading here to make it seem if that goes down and as if this is popping up. And then just a little bit along the lines there. Perhaps maybe a little bit of graphite here to give it the semblance of a little bit of roundness, a little bit of dimension to those little orbs. I like that. Let's see if I can get the light to show. But that is it. That is Scoggy. So I hope you give this one a try. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.